History of my oldest ancestors from whom I am very proud to be descended. May 1st, 1118. Dies at the Palace of Westminster. Matilda of Scotland, my 30th grandmother, 3 times my grandmother, Princess of Scotland, Duchess of Normandy, Queen Consort of England, wife of King Henry I of England, great-great-grandmother of King Afonso III of Portugal. Matilda of Scotland, Princess of Scotland, Duchess of Normandy, Queen Consort of England, was born in 1079 and died on May 1, 1118, was the daughter of Malcolm III, King of Scotland, and St. Margaret of Scotland, paternal granddaughter of Duncan I, King of Scotland, and Sibylla Fitz-Syward, Queen of Scotland, and maternal granddaughter of Edward Atheling and Agatha Billingen, Princess of Hungary. Matilda of Scotland, originally named Edith, also known as Goddess Queen Maud or Matilda of blessed memory, was Queen of England and Duchess of Normandy as the first wife of King Henry I. Matilda was Regent of England on several occasions during Henry I's absences, in 1104, 1107, 1108 and 1111. Daughter of King Malcolm III of Scotland and St. Margaret of Scotland, Matilda of Scotland was sent to be educated at a convent in southern England, where her aunt Christina was abbess. According to the traditions of Wilton Abbey in the 1140s, her aunt ordered her to wear the veil to protect her from the lusts of William II of England, which angered her father, because of the effect it might have on her marriage prospects. In 1093, Matilda became engaged to an English nobleman until the death of her father and brother Edward. After this, a confusing conflict of succession in Scotland occurred between his uncle Donald III, his half-brother Duncan II and his full brother Edgar, in 1097, when he assumed the throne. Henry I ascended the English throne in 1100 and quickly proposed marriage to Matilda due to her ancestry from the Anglo-Saxon House of Wessex. Furthermore, his brother offered the prospect of better relations between the two countries. However, there was a difficulty regarding the marriage. A special church council was called to ensure that Matilda had not taken vows as a nun. As Queen of England, Matilda took part in many projects and assumed an important role in government, as a mediator with the church. She was regent on several occasions when her husband was absent, as can be seen in many letters signed by her. Matilda of Scotland and Henry I had 2 children: Empress Matilda and William Atheling, Duke of Normandy. Matilda of Scotland, Queen of England, was buried in Westminster Abbey and was remembered fondly by her subjects. There was even an attempt at canonization, but it was not successful. Biography. Matilda of Scotland, Queen of England, was born in 1079, in Dunfermline, Scotland. She was the daughter of King Malcolm III of Scotland and St. Margaret of Scotland, thus making her a descendant of the Scottish and Anglo-Saxon royal family, as she was the great-granddaughter of Edmund, Iron Arm, King of England, and as such, a descendant of King Alfred, the Great. The Scottish princess. Matilda was baptized with the name Edith. The Queen of England, Matilda of Flanders, was present and was her godmother. Tradition has it that Matilda, Edith, then pulled the crown from Queen Matilda, her godmother, which was seen as an omen that the child would one day be queen. Matilda, her sister, and brothers were raised by a loving but strict mother who spared no effort when it came to raising her children in virtue, which some have assumed was the reason for the royal siblings' good behavior, and St. Margaret, Queen of Scots, their mother, also emphasized the importance of piety. When she was about 6 years old, Matilda and her sister Mary were sent to be educated at Romsey Abbey, near Southampton in southern England, where their maternal aunt Christina was abbess. The princesses learned English, French and Latin, which were sufficient to read works by St. Augustine and the Bible. It is assumed that Matilda also studied financial management and geometry. Queen of England. After Matilda of Scotland and Henry I of England were married on the 11th of November, 1100, at Westminster Abbey by Archbishop Anselm of Canterbury, she was crowned as Matilda, a sacred Norman name. Matilda's court at Westminster was full of poets. She was known as a patron of the arts, especially music. Piety. Queen Matilda was described as a woman of exceptional holiness, in piety like her mother, and in her own character exempt from all evil influence. She was remembered by her subjects as a Matilde Bona Regina, and for a time they wanted to canonize her, although they never succeeded. Matilda was known for her generosity to the church, founding and supporting convents and hospitals for lepers. Malmesbury described her as attending church barefoot in Lent as well as washing the feet and kissing the hands of the sick. Queen Matilda was patron saint of St. Brendan's Voyage, written around 1106 to 1118. He also commissioned the monk Thurgot of Durham to write a biography of his mother, St. Margaret of Scotland. Death and legacy. On May 1, 1118, Matilda of Scotland, Queen of England, dies at the Palace of Westminster. It was her wish to have been buried at Holy Trinity, Aldgate, but King Henry I requested that she be buried at Westminster Abbey, near King Edward the Confessor. The inscription on her tomb reads, "Here lies the renowned Queen Matilda II, outstanding both young and old in her time. She was for all the reference of morality and the ornament of life." The death of Matilda's son William Atterling, Duke of Normandy, in the White Ship's disaster, November 1120, and her husband's failure to produce a legitimate son by his second marriage led to a succession crisis and, as a result, a long civil war. During his reign, Stephen of Blois insisted that Queen Matilda had in fact been a nun and that her daughter, Empress Matilda, was therefore not a legitimate successor to the English throne. Family and descendants. Matilda of Scotland, Queen of England and Henry I King of England, my 30th grandfather, 5 times my grandfather, had 2 children. William Atterling, Duke of Normandy, who died, without descendants, in the shipwreck of the White Ship, married to Matilda de Anjou. Matilda, Queen of England who married Geoffrey V Plantagenet, Count of Anjou, my 29th grandparents, 3 times my grandparents.